So welcome to Team Call Tuesday. Start as Team Call, and you guys are always more than welcome to invite your downline to these calls. Every other Tuesday, I like to do them on the opposite weeks of the Team Succeed calls, so we're not like overrun with calls. But today we are celebrating Christmas week. I can't believe it's already here, which also means the end of the year is here, which is completely crazy to me. Does anybody else feel that way? Yes. Thank goodness. It is so crazy. So a couple things that I wanted to touch on. Last call, we kind of touched a little bit about end of the year goals, pushing yourself to the end of the year for yourself and for your business and for your health and family. But now we are moving on into staring January and 2016 straight in the face. And with that, it is good to get a jump start on what you want to do with your goals, your dreams, your visions for not only yourself and your health and your finances and your business, but like there's such a broad spectrum of things that you can set goals for. So that is one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight in 4 different ways. So we're going to take this topic a couple different directions and walk through some things together. But the reason we want to think about this stuff before January 1st is because when January 1st hits, we want to be able to jump out of bed and hit the ground running. Maybe after you get over your New Year's Eve fun hangover. I don't know. I won't be doing that this year, but so really, as you're looking into 2016, you want to be planning ahead. So we still have quite a bit of time that you can look at what you want to do for your goals, your dreams, your visions, and get them down on paper, because that is probably one of the most important things to do, is to get it out and get it down. So let's take, for example, New Year's resolutions, okay? Usually we just say, oh, my resolution is to lose weight, or to save more money, or to spend more time with my family. And we okay, that's what I'm going to do. We say it, that's what we think we're going to do. But what happens with our New Year's resolutions? They're usually like out the door by February, and we all know that with our health. I'm sure we've all been there at one point in time in our life, right? So that's just one perfect example. But the reason that happens is, many different things for different people. It could be anything from maybe your goals or your visions weren't strong enough. Maybe you found a fear that went with them that kind of stopped you in your tracks. Maybe they weren't as important as you thought. There's just so many different things. Maybe you caught a bump in the road and got discouraged, and it completely threw you off track. So you said, screw it. There's many things that can discourage those things. But if you get them down on paper, and there's something that you can look at and work towards daily, weekly, monthly, you'll find that as long as you are keeping those things in front of you, when you get to December of 2016, you will probably have found that you've made some headway on the majority of those things. Okay? So one thing I'll encourage you to do is, if you made 2015 goals for yourself, take those out. Make sure to take a look at them and see, do a self-evaluation on how you ended up at the end of the year, okay? Not to discourage you by any means, but really to just take a good, honest look about how you feel you did, and if that's something you may want to add to your 2016 list, okay? So with that, I just wanted to touch a little bit more on goals and dreams and envisioning them. Okay. So you can't get to where you want to go if you don't know where you're going. Does that make sense? You can't get to where you want to go if you don't know where you're going. So by setting these goals, by setting or, expressing what your dreams are for yourself and what your visions are, that is where you want to go. Okay, so you get those down for yourself, And then you can create your own roadmap that'll take you there. Okay. That's a whole nother conversation, but you have to start with those dreams, those goals, those visions of what you want for yourself in those certain areas of your life. Okay. If you can't express those, then you're never going to get there. Okay. So you got to start with where you want to go in order to decide how to get there. All right. So, like I said, there are 4 things that we're going to talk about on how to do that. But first, I'm giving away a prize. Okay? So, for my 2 Santa hat wearers, you guys are getting new headbands with stars on for Stardust. Yay! Okay, great. That was fun. Now we're going to move on. So I got to write this down real quick. Nicole.
Are you sure there isn't a drink for pregnant women?
God, I know, right? I feel like I'm on Energize right now.
I need some of your energy.
I think it's because I was so nervous about this call that, I'm just like, what?
You're doing great.
Excuse me.
You're doing awesome. I probably better not talk much. I sound like a frog.
Well, I will be asking for you guys to talk later, so keep that in mind. Okay? All right. So let's move on. 4 examples on creating your vision. Okay? So your vision, this grand vision that you have for yourself in your life is so important. And you should never feel silly about it. You should never feel crazy about those things that might be out of reach for yourself. We talk about this in our challenge groups, that big, hairy goal that might scare the crap out of you, but it's something that you ultimately really want for yourself. And you almost can describe it as, when I do this, it's going to be amazing, or I'm going to feel so good. We've talked about that in challenge groups before. So it's kind of along the same lines. There really is no barrier to what your vision should be for yourself. It's just a matter of how you decide to put these things down on paper or in images or in a certain way that is going to speak to you and keep you engaged in these things every day, every week, every month of the year. Okay, so the first one I want to start with is, you guys have seen this image already, and I'm going to do a share screen. Let me find it real quick. Okay, back, share screen. Okay, can you guys see that? Good to go? Thumbs up? Okay. All right, so this is one, this is something that I've put an image in Stardust. A lot of us used it last year. We've used it in some different groups in the past. And it really is kind of helping you decide how to break out your goals, okay? So the main ones are family, finances, social, spiritual, personal development, physical, and career, okay? Those are some main topics that really, you guys, anybody can go ahead and use those. They really kind of fit in everybody's life, and it's giving you 1 through 5 on like personal development, physical. Did you know that usually health and finances are the top 2 places that people place New Year's resolutions or goals? It is. It makes sense, right? I mean, that's something that if somebody asks me, oh, what are your goals? It usually, and back in the day, it always was, oh, to lose more weight and to save money. That was always what it was. But there's so much more to our lives than that. And, it's not even just all about our Beachbody business. You can see here that this talks about maybe your career goals within your job, your full-time job, so that is just one way to take a look at some of these things. Now, I just want to give you a couple examples because I filled mine out for last year. I'm still working on this year's because I really want to be able to sit down with my husband and talk about these things as well. But like last year, family goals. My number one was to start a family. Check mark. That one's coming in loud and clear. Date night 2 times a month, dinner at the table with conversation and no TV. Okay, family goals. That could be for anybody with your children, maybe it's certain things with your kids. Maybe it's certain things with your, like maybe your mom and dad or your siblings, anything like that. Financial goals, paying off stupid debt, save more, invest for our future. Again, anything goes there. Social goals. I don't know if any of you guys have done some of these things with Chalene Johnson, but she talks about a lot of these main goals. And so social goals, I was kind of like, I work from home. I have friends here, but it's not like my husband's kind of an introvert, so we don't really do a whole lot. What should I put? Well, a night out once a month with friends, that's a pretty big one for us, to actually get out of the house and see other people. Attend large gatherings or concerts with a friend. That's stuff I would like to do. Spiritual goals for me, and this might not be for everybody depending on what you believe, but pray daily, church every weekend, donate more, personal development. Read 1 book a month. This was huge for me because this is when I really started taking my personal development seriously. I did not hit 1 book a month. I will not lie. I did not achieve that. But I've probably read more personal development books this year than I ever have. And I'm proud of that because I've learned so much from it. Physical goals, we've all got those. Career goals, maybe it's within Beachbody, maybe it's within your personal job. You could do one for each. Maybe it's achieve Emerald, or maybe it's help 3 people a month, or maybe it's working on trainings for your downline. Okay, so those were for 2015, and I'll probably be using this one again just because I like the colors. I like being able to write it out. That's just kind of me and my personality. So that fits me. But there are other ways, guys. There are other ways. So the next one I'm going to talk about, well, hello, Renee. Who joined us? All right. Hair. And feeding your face. That's perfect.
Hair.
I love it.
It's my last meal till like 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, God. Well, good luck with that. Enjoy. All right. So moving on, I'm going to do my next screen share. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. I also posted this one in Stardust for you guys to take a look at. This is one that was shared with us by Summer Tucker. Okay, we all know who Summer is, and she obviously is a rock star. We may have even gotten the previous one from groups that she's had as well. So this one is it's kind of the same, but it's just a little bit different. Rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places, she has 5 priorities. 5 priorities that you need to determine in your life. And those 5 priorities obviously take priority over anything else, okay? So once you have your 5 priorities, which in her example was God, her husband, her family, Beachbody business, and personal development, okay? Once you have those 5s, you break them down into 3 different things that can move you forward with those areas. So for her, let's just take her husband, for example, weekly date night, quarterly getaway, things like that are really going to help her build her relationship with her husband. Things that will help her with her Beachbody business. Webinar trainings. She's doing more stuff with like Danny Johnson and going to groups, business activity tracker. So those are just some examples within those priorities, but you have to determine the priorities for yourself. You could even use examples off of this page to determine what your priorities are, okay? Then on the right-hand side there, you'll see that she has you write down 10 goals. So within those goals, they really can be anything you want them to be, having to do with whatever you want them to be, just goals you have for 2016. And those also could have something to do with other priorities that are outside of your top 5, okay? And then that star down there at the bottom that says weekly activity, you can cut out that isn't in line with your priorities and goals. This is actually a really important step, you guys. This has been in like Franklin Covey trainings, some top coach trainings, that once you determine your 5 pillars or your 5 priorities, then you need to start, you need to be able to cut some of the other riffraff out of your life so that you can stay focused on those priorities, okay? So that might be PTA, or it might be something with Fair Board, or something, you know, like coaching your children's Little League or bake sale mom, you know, things like that that might take you away from those priorities that really you could probably do something else. Like a great example that Summer uses is rather than being bake sale mom and making the cupcakes, she buys them. You know, she's still giving to the thing, but she's not taking the time away from herself and her family and her top priorities in order to do that. Okay. So are there any questions on this stuff yet, you guys? I'm going to stop screen share there. Good to go so far? Okay. I have a question for you. Who has done some of their 2016 goals? Who has some of them written down? Oh, CeCe. Would you please share some of those with us?
Sure. Do you want them from any particular area?
How about you give me 2 areas that you feel are important and share those with us?
So my biggest ones are financial and physical. And kind of health goes with physical. But my big one for that is no drive-through. I'm wasting a lot of money going to the drive-through and eating really crappy foods, and it makes me feel crappy. So I need to stop.
Good one.
And then the really big one for me for financial goals is to save 10% of each paycheck, because I'm bad at saving.
Very cool. Great job. Now, did you have that laminated?
Yeah.
I'm
I
impressed.
stick it on my wall.
That's great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing that. And being the first one to share, you get a prize. You get a Coach tank top.
Thank you.
Yay. Yay, CeCe. Thank you for sharing those with us. I think that's great. And it has to feel pretty good to have a head start on your goals already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Somebody else who is not able to be here tonight, Ashley, she emailed me hers. She actually used the same list, but her and her husband went over them together, and they have it in an email form, and they have it specific to one or the other or together, and they update it each month. She said last year was the first year they had worked on that. It was the first year they actually had made headway within their goals. So it does work, and it is important to be able to find that way. Okay, the next one that I want to talk about is, I'm going to call it your perfect day. Your perfect day. And this can be a story, a letter to yourself, whatever form you want it to be. But this is also another exercise that I have done in a training that maybe some of you guys have done in a training. And it was very uncomfortable for me to do, honestly. But it allowed me to really think outside the box as far as what I envisioned for myself, my business, my just anything from my family life and what I saw for my husband and I, all the way down to how we spent each hour, half hour section of our day. And this can correspond with these goal sheets as well. But again, it's creating that vision for yourself. And I don't have like a form to share with you, but it really comes down to sitting down and thinking about these things for yourself. So the last time I did mine, it really was like a story for myself. It started when the alarm went off at 5:15 a.m. and hit snooze probably once or twice. Then Drew and I both rolled over and got out of bed. He went to go let the dogs out as I got ready for the day. He made my Shakeology and we had them together while sitting out on the deck. Okay, we don't have dogs. He doesn't drink Shakeology. Okay. So do you see where I'm going with this? Like, it really is like your perfect day. And it is something where it may not be real. It may not be realistic, but it's something that I would love to have happen. Okay. This house that I'm sitting out on the deck is in Nebraska. Okay. And we have an acreage. And you know, it goes through everything from, we did our workout together. He went to the farm. He's not a farmer right now. I went for a ride on my horse. We came back. We had people over. I invited people over for a party. We passed out beer and champagne to everybody to announce that we were expecting a child. Okay, that's how my day ended. There was stuff in between, but that was my vision for my perfect day. Okay, it's not in Wisconsin. I don't have any horses to ride up here now. So do you see how that works? So that vision still sticks in my head. I may have written that, you know, last year, and it still is something that sticks in my head. And that, you know, there's things in there that are getting closer. He works out on his own. We're expecting. We talk about getting home. We talk about new homes. So those things start coming into your life and coming into your brain and coming into those positive thoughts that you have on a daily basis. Okay. Has anybody ever done a perfect day? I know Renee has. Yeah. So that's something you guys can think about, you know, it really does. It may take some quiet time for you to think about that and just write. And just go for it. Okay. All right. Fourth one. And our final one. I'm going to do another screen share. This is for those visionaries, for those people that honestly like to see things in front of them. Maybe the writing is not enough. Maybe let me find it. Maybe the pretty colors aren't enough, but finding those items that truly mean something to you and seeing them on a board for your year can help you with those visions, help you determine those dreams, and help you see them for your future. So we're talking about a dream board. And this is something that I know a lot of you guys have done. We've talked about before. We've used in a challenge group. This was actually created Oprah Winfrey had a website that you can do this on. I think it's still available, but you guys, you could cut and paste and find this stuff, put it, you know, there's Canva, there's PicMonkey. You can find all these images on Google Images, or maybe they're your own personal images, and just determine, you know, what you want for yourself. So like this was health. This is that home out in the country. These are my rock star abs that I still am hoping for someday, you know, star diamond. Family is always something that's super important and on my dream board and a part of my life. So, you know, just some examples for you. And it really is pretty fun because it allows you to really grasp that vision for what you want for yourself. Any questions on that? Who has done a dream board before in their life? Fantastic. Okay, so Alyssa, CeCe, and Becca, you guys are newer, basically. So have you ever heard of doing a dream board? Okay. Yeah, well, Becca, now you have. That's great. Okay. So those are your 4 ways that you guys can really think about envisioning what you want for 2016. But no matter how you decide to do it, it is important to do it. And it is important to even invite your spouses or your family to come into this with you. That is something that I didn't do last year. And it's kind of a big scary thing for me this year, but it's necessary. Not scary in a way of like, he's not going to like my ideas, but like, I do have my own ideas, and I'm sure he has his own ideas, but now's the time for our ideas to kind of come together, especially since we're having a baby. So, that's something I encourage you guys to do. If you have a downline or a team, encourage them to do it. It may even be worth you encouraging your challenge groups to start thinking towards 2016. Because another thing about it is when you do start thinking about these goals and dreams, health and fitness is usually one of the very top ones. And if they start thinking about those things ahead of time, they're going to be looking at you next year when they're wanting that help as well. Okay. All right, guys, what do you got for questions? Anybody have some big, hairy goals that they want to share? Don't be quiet. Samantha. Aha, I saw you giggling, so now you have to.
Call me out. I have a lot of scary goals, very scary goals. But, I want to get into a rhythm of actually working the business instead of playing it in the hobby category. I want to move it to the career, and I know that I've been holding myself back. So, that deals with just moving forward and wanting it. And I have things that I need to pay for coming up, so that's my ticket. I'm a number person, so I gotta
make a good thing. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That helps drive you a little bit. If you can find that trigger as to what drives you, that's a bonus. So
yeah.
Very cool. Good. Anybody else want to share? How about Alyssa? Yep, calling you out.
I'm going to finish a workout program. That's my goal.
That's a good one.
Yes. So I'm going to do it from the beginning to end the whole time.
Do you have one picked out yet?
Hammer and chisel.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, let's go around. Nicole, you can go next.
I'll see how much my voice will hold up. But I just want to be more consistent, I guess, just finding a balance. And that kind of hit me hard today when I used some of my time off today to come work at home just to catch up book work. And so I just need to find a balance with doing stuff for my husband's business, coaching and working full time, and of course being a mom. So I just, I'm hoping that with your guys' help, I can do that, and maybe some other coaches that are trying to do full time in this. Just even like I told my husband, I'm like, even if I spent 15 minutes every day doing like some book work and balancing things, which is kind of hard because you kind of got to do that monthly. But instead of doing like where now I found some things I hadn't reconciled since May. I had like Beachbody expenses from Summit that you guys, I hadn't even reconciled. So I spent the whole day at home. But okay, so back to my goal. That's my main goal is I want to be more consistent. Books, Katie, that was a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I swore off reading books after college. And I know that's terrible because that's like the worst thing you could do. And so coaching has really helped me read again. But I did not make my goal of once a month. But I did probably finish 6 books.
That's good.
My goal, that's better than 0 books.
Exactly. You gotta keep with that as well. I think that's fantastic. Those are some big goals, and as long as you know what you want to do, you've got your starting point. So
yes,
good for you. Awesome. Okay, Debbie.
My big scary goal is paying off our credit cards.
Very cool.
2 of them. I get excited and, shaky, but yet, it'll feel so awesome to write that final check. So
that's great. And, by the looks of it, you are already working on that because I saw your post the other day, and that was It
all started last year. when I decided New Year's Eve to sit down with my husband, and we wrote down all of our expenses and kind of did the Dave Ramsey envelope system.
That's awesome. Yay! Cool. Okay, so we're going to go to Becca.
Okay. Well, am I on? Can you hear me?
You are.
Okay. So my goal is to kind of just make this an actual thing and start into the business and just earn a little extra to start redoing my house that I just bought. So
Nice. Very cool, Becca. That's great. And thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. All right, CeCe, we heard a couple of yours. Do you have a big one? Do you have a big one that you're like, I'm going to get it?
I think the big one for me is just to take the business side of it seriously. I've kind of been putzing around with it for a few months now and not seeing the results I like, but it's because I'm not applying myself. So that would be my big goal, is to try to hit some success club each month and start forming a downline.
Great. Very cool. Okay, and we're going to finish with Renee.
Hold on a second. Oh, I've been unmuted. That's great.
I haven't heard anything. I didn't hear you mowing down or anything. No belching, so.
Good thing the flatulence has passed.
That would have made for an interesting call.
Oh gosh, always. You know what? My whole goal this year is more on not necessarily myself, but my team. You know, I don't necessarily have a problem, growing, and I know how to grow. I just haven't been very effective at helping my team grow. And of course, as you guys know, you're only as good as your team in this business. So my main focus, I haven't solidified all of my goals. I mean, I've met a lot of my financial goals, within the last 2 years, but it's more or less, I don't like succeeding by myself. And, one of the things that's most disheartening is sitting here all by yourself. And, for the last, 6, 7, 8 months, we've been talking with John Maxwell and learning from him. And he emphasizes so much on crossing the finish line with not yourself. It's not about getting there by yourself. It's about how do you take other people with you? And so really my goal for this next year is to really transform the way I run my business and the way I think about things. It can't always be about me. I mean, I know how to earn Success Club every month. I've done it, consecutively for 12 plus months. And, I've done it longer than that. I mean, I've missed 2 months in the last, 3 years or something like that. So, I know how to do that, but I have to figure out how to get my team to do that. So my goal is really, just to define what that looks like, and more or less finding a word that defines my year, something that I focus on, leadership, or just transformation, or just, reinvention, just finding a word that, that you can focus on for the entire year. And that will really help, your focus. The other thing too is to really nail down, again, what my priorities are, because I've really let that go. I've noticed in the last, 6 months of, putting my family behind, other things, and that can't be. So anyway, those are my goals, and I can't give you any financial specifics because I earn enough money. I don't, it's great if I make more, but, that's not a concern of mine. It's about helping you guys do that, and the rest will come. The more that I do that, the more it'll come. So I just gotta transform that part of my business. So anyway, that's my goal.
And Renee and I talk about this stuff a lot. We have our own calls together, and so we've talked about that a lot. And I feel that, I feel the same way, but I also have some personal goals for myself, which I feel like if I'm able to do them for myself, it'll actually help my team and my downline. So like number one is to become more organized. That is not a strong suit of mine. I am a sapphire. I I actually feel like coaching has helped me become more organized and within my day and my thoughts, a lot of different things. But I need to do better at that. Also, big personal goal of mine is to pay off some debt, because obviously we're going to, not that, me personally, not that my Beachbody business depends on, our family depends on my Beachbody business, but I personally want to be able to pay some things myself without, my husband's help, it's things like that, my own personal goals. But really, I really want to be able to dig in deeper with my challengers, and from those challengers create more successful coaches, that have that burning desire like we do on this call, people that want to do more and make a difference in other people's lives and continue building off of that. So that's another big goal of mine. And I feel that honestly starts with challenge groups. So like Renee was talking, reinventing some things within my challenge groups, which within my coaching systems, trainings and stuff like that. I don't have, like Renee and I talked about this today, I don't have specifics, but I've already gained some ideas on what I'm looking at for 2016. And I'm really excited about it, and both of us being able to share that stuff with you guys and within our downline. So that's kind of it for me. But that's kind of all I got, you guys, for tonight. I do want to do one more drawing, and it's going to be between Debbie, Becca, and Sam. But Becca's not on anymore. But Renee, would you pick a number between 1 and 3? Yep, because there's only 3, so I need a number. 1, 2, or 3. Pick it.
Pick a number 2, right?
All right. Sam's the winner.
Sorry, that's funny.
Sam, you're winning a Shakeology shirt.
Oh, yay!
Awesome, guys. Okay, so I'll be sure to get those prizes out. But I wanted to show you something.
She's getting a belly.
No, my Christmas sweater.
Oh, darn it.
I dressed for the occasion. I forgot my cocoa, but I dressed for the occasion. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. I know it took a little bit longer than normal, but thanks for everything. And if you have any questions on any of these things, put it in the group. Let's talk about it, because everybody will benefit from any of your questions at any time. So again, thanks for being here, you guys. Have a great night and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. See you guys.
Thanks.